Curly hair struggles we are all tired of. Welcome back to my video. My name is Beauty and Curls by Meg, giving tips, tricks and tutorials helping you with your curly and wavy hair. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're coming back, welcome back for more, and also don't forget to like. Curly hair is beautiful, but it definitely comes with its challenges. I asked my Instagram followers what was their biggest curly hair struggle, and they sent so many relatable ones. But in this video, I'm going to be going through them. I'm going to share some of my own experiences and give a few tips that might actually help. First one we're going to discuss is second day curls. This is what a lot of people struggle with. So they're either amazing or they completely betray you. And a good refresh routine makes all the difference. In the beginning, I was wetting my hair completely down, and it's totally up to you, it's kind of a trial and error what works best for you, but wetting my hair fully down just didn't help. I find that doing it in patches where they're not cooperating, I get my spray mist bottle and I wet it down in patches, and then it's amazing how defined it quickly goes. And then I add a little bit of a product to it, so I like to add a bit of gel, or many hair brands have like a special refresh spray, so just in areas where they need refreshing, use the spray. It just zhuzhes them back up, and you can either let them air dry or you can get your diffuser and bounce them back up again. So I got this a few times waking up with tangled hair or tangles. So waking up with a bird's nest situation is not ideal, but here's some tips that I found helpful. Usually before I go to sleep at night, I put my hair up in either a pineapple, a loose pineapple with a satin bobble, or you could use a bonnet, and I like to use a buff. And also a satin or silk pillowcase will really help to preserve them curls, and it'll stop you any friction and frizz and getting those tangles. Brushing and detangling on wash day will really help. Get all them knots out before, because you don't want to not be brushing your hair after washing it, and it'll just get all matted. So give it a really good brush day. Give it a really good brush on wash day in the shower while your hair is got conditioner on. That will allow a lot of slip and to be able to detangle. Otherwise, if you find that you've got like a really tangled knot, then if you just spray it down again with water and lots of like conditioner or leave-in conditioner, and you can really either detangle with your fingers or get a little brush starting from the bottom, working your way up to the top. So the next one is back section frizzy. I don't know what it is with the back of your head, but it never wants to behave, and it's usually the driest part too. I try and be more intentional in making sure that I've got products to the back of my hair, make sure that I section it. Just make sure that you add plenty of product to the back of your hair, and also brushing through the product really helps for even distribution throughout your hair. A lot of people have this problem, making it last more than one day. Getting your curls to look consistent is a real challenge sometimes. Sometimes it can behave, sometimes it doesn't behave. I would say try and keep your products consistent, and then you know what's going right and wrong. And as I said, sleep protection will really help your curls the next day to keep them lasting throughout the week. It could be that you're over moisturizing your hair. It could be that you've got a product build-up. So I always say the best thing to do is start again. So that being, make sure that you clarify your hair often, because dirt and debris and oils from products could build up, and that ruins your results, and you'll find that they won't last otherwise. So make sure that you're consistent in clarifying. I tend to clarify maybe once every 2 weeks, but it just depends on how much you wash your hair. So I tend to wash my hair once to twice a week. So it doesn't need clarifying as often, but if I was washing it 3 to 4 times a week, then yeah, you definitely need to clarify maybe once a week more often. Achieving a no part. So that could be hard because your hair kind of tends to do whatever it wants to. So it can be hard to try and not get a part in. Section the top part of your hair, and with a brush, just brush up and back, all the way to the front of your head, and then just scrunch it up. And then hopefully that doesn't achieve a parting. I haven't got a parting at the moment. I used to kind of have a little parting here, so but I've just had a brush and I've just brought it all the way to the back, from back to front, and then it's kind of slid into a little bit of a thing here because I do like my face framing pieces, so I do like a bit at the front, but over here we've got no parting because I've just brushed it back. Root volume, this can be a bit tricky. A lot of people struggle with this. It just depends on your curl type as well, I think. My hair's quite voluminous anyway, so I don't really have to do a lot for root volume. I recommend using these root clips, and they're really handy to just put all down your hair wherever you want volume in, and then I dry it and then take them out when it's near enough dried and then carry on drying it. And I really love these. I use these each time. They just give me a little bit more root volume and a little bit of body to my curls, so yeah, I really recommend those. Or you don't even have to have any fancy root clips. You can just use just a big clip and do it that way, and that will also work. It's also really good if your hair tends to part at the back weirdly. You can just add it to the back and then dry, and then it helps to keep the curls together and to not get any weird partings. Next one is fine hair curls fall. So if you've got fine hair, it's best not to weigh it down with heavy products, so use something that's light, or you might just want to just go in with a stronghold gel and to not make them fall. Also, you might want to style on damp hair rather than soaking wet hair. This can help the curl retention. And always diffuse, because if you just let it air dry, it'll just be limp and stuck to your head. So give it a good diffuse, flip your hair about, that should help. The next one is moisture, dry and frizzy. This is probably the most common one. Keeping hair hydrated is like a full-time job. Keep condition regularly, sealing in moisture with a leave-in or an oil, and avoiding overwashing will really help. Sometimes it's just a trial and error, finding out what works for your hair type. The next one is trying to get volume but sacrificing definition. This is such a relatable one. We often want both, don't we? The volume often means losing the curl definition a little bit. The trick is finding a balance. The curls are soft and full, but not losing shape. Layering products and using a diffuser on a low heat. The next one, hair isn't the same curl all over. We often struggle with this. We often have multiple curl patterns on our head. It can be really frustrating. If certain areas are a bit looser and frizzier, you might want to try finger coiling in them areas or brush styling in those areas to help encourage the curl pattern. The next one, hair growth slow and thinness. So if your curls are growing really slowly and they feel really thin, you probably want to focus on scalp care by massaging it, gently brushing, avoiding a heavy build-up. So again, make sure you're clarifying your hair. Healthy hair takes time, especially if you've straightened it for so long or you've not known how to properly care for it. But it is a struggle. Next one, my 17-month-old son has tiny ringlets. They sound so cute, but it can tangle easily. So my advice to you would be use a soft conditioner, use a wide tooth comb or detangle with your finger. Try not to brush dry curls ever. Only brush while wet in the shower. You don't want to be brushing each day because that'll just make them really frizzy and dry. A detangling spray can be a real game changer. What I found really helped my daughter's curls when they were little was to just leave a little bit of leave-in conditioner, and it really helped define the curls and helped with that frizz because the curls need moisture. The next one, that it looks healthy and not frizzy. So this is something that we all want. We all want shiny, bouncy, beautiful, healthy looking curls. Try to focus on moisture, avoid too much heat, and try not to overload your hair with too many products. Again, make sure you're clarifying regularly. Focus on scalp health. Curly hair can be a challenge, but it is also such a beautiful, unique thing to embrace. Thank you to everybody that has shared their struggles. If you've got one that didn't make the video, leave it in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going and let's help each other. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.